Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates.
FIS MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Wednesday, the 17th day of June 2020. I hope and I trust that everyone had a wonderful evening, long weekend, holiday on Monday as well. So this is the first time that For the Record is on since Friday of last week. So for those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. If you're a pedestrian, if you're a cyclist operating, or if you're operating any type of vehicle on the roads of the Cayman Islands, please be extremely cautious. Remember that the life you save may be your own. If you're celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. If you celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a belated happy birthday as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we again want to extend our sincere condolences to you, and we hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times. So, with that, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that time, there is always someone in the control room waiting to take your calls. Again, this week, it is that radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal. You can call us on our toll-free number provided, courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. If you don't like to talk on the telephone, then email us at For the Record. That is one word, For the Record at CANDW.KY. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. This morning, it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me none other than MLA Mr. Ezard Miller, and I just want to let you know that Mr. Miller will be with us until about 8:30 this morning because he has something else on his agenda, and I'll let him explain to you what else he has to do. So without any further ado, Mr. Miller, sir, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Morning, OC, and thanks for having me, and good morning to the listening Cayman. I apologize for having to leave early because, as you know, this is one of the things about politics and representing the people that I enjoy, is to come here and interact with the people. But we do have Public Accounts Committee starting at 9 o'clock, and I like to go down there to the LA and get time to organize myself and be prepared. So we have hearings today, tomorrow, and Friday on the recently released pension reports by the Government Pension Office. So it should be an interesting day. We have invited most of the multiple employer pension providers and one or two of the single employer, because there are a couple of companies that have their own pension plan.
Okay.
To question him about things in the report, we have the civil servants coming in first, because we have to get some explanations from them as to why these reports were not released, and et cetera, et cetera. We need to get some commitments, and so we can make some recommendations going forward that these reports are going to be dealt with on an annual basis, because right now we're having to deal with 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right? And these were only released because the ombudsman so ruled.
Okay.
This was not a following of the legal requirement to publish these reports. So we have to get some explanations as to why it hasn't happened, and some commitment to accept the recommendation that these things, maybe if the problem is the ministers not wanting to release because the law is very specific. The law says that the report must be handed to the minister, who must then present it to the governor, and it must be laid at the next meeting of the Legislative Assembly. And after it is given to the governor.
Right, and the only person that can lay that on the table is the minister.
Yeah, and we've had through questions and discussions in the Legislative Assembly in the past, we've heard, the reports are not up to standard, or they didn't want them to be, didn't want to lay them, and the minister wanted to make some changes, and none of that should happen. If the minister is not satisfied that the board is doing his job, it's his responsibility to replace the board, not to sit down and wheel and deal with the board as to what the report should say. The report should be the facts of the pension.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do also, Mr. Miller, if you're so inclined to talk about today's meeting, and we can let our audience know who will be appearing, those individuals who will be appearing. But before that, we do have a caller already, so let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay. Mr. Miller, if you continue becoming a member of the Legislative Assembly, whether you're the government or not, what motions do you have planned on bringing to the floor of the House?
Well, I had tabled two motions for the meeting on the 29th, both related to customs duty. One requesting the government to consider waiving all duties on medicines, medical and surgical supplies, and one to deal with an anomaly in the customs law, where customs will not now accept a value of an invoice with zero value for warranty purposes.
And do you have any plans for the District of Northside?
Oh, yeah. But that would take me too long to detail all them to you.
Okay. Because for the last 4 years, going on 4 years, May come in would be 4 years, our representatives haven't done anything for West Bay.
Yeah, well, I can't speak for the West Bay representatives. You must understand that. I only speak for what I do.
Yes, but I'm speaking as a West Bayer.
Uh-huh.
And I remember one time I called in. I spoke to Honorable Mr. McKeever Bush concerning the vehicle licensing office in West Bay. That while you're there and you need to use the restroom, you're not able to use the restroom that they have there. It's for their employees only, they have told us. I asked him if they would consider building a restroom in the area where the West Bay police station is, so people are able to go over there and use the restroom and not having to leave to go home and to use the restroom and come back, being that people are waiting in line and holding a ticket, a number. And not even that we have gotten done in West Bay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Caller, before you go, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you believe that the fact that the district is now divided into single-member constituencies, that has anything to do with the lack of response or the lack of any improvements for the district of West Bay?
No, that's no excuse. Because if something has to be done in a district and you bring it to the floor of the House, the government and everybody, all the members of the assembly see that it's something that is important, that is needed, should be done. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, caller, for that. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Miller, we were speaking about the agenda and today's agenda. So who's expected to appear on today?
Well, we start at 9 o'clock today with Mistress Amy Wollaston.
Yeah.
Followed at 10 o'clock by Mr. Bernard E. Banks, followed at 11 o'clock by Mr. Wesley Howell.
Okay, and they are, Ms. Wollaston is the Deputy Director.
Right, of the pensions in the Department of Labour and Pensions, and Mr. Bernard E. Banks is the Director of both Labour, the whole department. Right, and of course Mr. Howell is the Chief Officer in the Ministry of Home Affairs, and which deals with pensions.
Okay.
And then this afternoon we're dealing with BAF, Cayman Pension Plan, and we have Mr. Sanley Morley, Mr. Julian Raleigh, Mr. Hendrik Narn, and Mr. Peter Carney. And some of these, in fact, I think most of these are non-residents, so they'll be coming in by Zoom. You know, so we didn't have them go to the expense of flying in because there's nothing to fly, you know.
Okay.
And then on tomorrow, then we have other pension plans that are other pension. We're dealing with different ones. I mean, tomorrow we have for the 18th.
British Caymanian Colonial Pension.
Right. We have British Caymanian, and then Cayman National Pension Fund, and then Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, and we have representatives from each of those. Larry Gibson and Neil Wright for British Caymanian. For Cayman National, we have Mr. Stuart Jack, who's coming in by Zoom, and Mr. Earl Babe Grit. I'm terrible at these names. And then for the Chamber...
Babagrit?
Something like that.
Babagrit, yeah.
Then we have, for the Chamber of Commerce Plan, we have Mr. Gizimo Kolavikovo, Mr. Paul Schreiner, and Mr. Randall Fisher, and Miss Saskia Stevenson.
Okay.
And then for Friday... time to deal with this technology, Mr.
Yeah, for Friday.
Friday we have
Fidelity Pension Service.
Right, Fidelity. It's coming up here slowly but surely.
That Mr. Brent Hill, the President and
Brent
CEO.
Hill, yeah, right. And then we have Island Heritage, and we have Mr. John Wright, Mr. Miguel De Ponte, and Mr. Darren Trickett, and I think the first two are coming in on Zoom. And then for the Silver Touch pension plan, we have Mr. Carlisle McLaughlin. He may be bringing other people with him that we don't have listed, but I have said to him that he can bring people that he wishes to bring.
Okay. Now,
and we are, and all of this, we're obeying all the government regulations as to social distancing. So, you know.
Okay, and these proceedings will be aired as well, except for this afternoon?
Yeah, the proceedings are normally broadcast live on government TV and also on Radio Cayman. I think it's Breeze FM. They do the live,
yes,
and then they do a rebroadcast of Radio Cayman at night.
Right.
So that's on. Unfortunately, today we have a conflict with the government press conference on the COVID-19 press conference. So for they're coming on at 3. I think the press conference is at 3.
Okay.
And we're on from 1:30 till 3. So hopefully we'll be able to get, but again, they may have set up stuff, but so there's a possibility that none of the afternoon session will be broadcast live today because of the government press conference, but it'll be recorded and broadcast later.
Paul, do we know what Radio Cayman will be doing? Because since the Public Accounts Committee, that's aired on 105.3, and we carry the press briefing on 89.9, is it possible that Radio Cayman will continue to carry the Public Accounts Committee meeting while simultaneously with the press briefing? Okay, because if we could find out, because there are going to be some people who are going to have more of an interest in this the Public Accounts Committee hearing than they may have with the COVID-19, because they know later on they will get a report on that. There will be published reports and everything. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, Mr. Miller, I want you to explain to our audience if they have questions or concerns in relation to these pension schemes, how can they go about getting those questions asked of these officials, these administrators and company representatives in the Public Accounts Committee? So, folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Joseph Stephen Blackman. Reverend Blackman ministered to the people of West Bay between 1910 and 1927, and again from 1935 until 1948. Shortly after his arrival, he began a special ministry to the seamen of West Bay, in which he would commit the captain and crew of each turtling vessel to the protection of God. Seamen going to other destinations were also especially ministered to, and the church service was designed so that each Sunday, these absent seamen were remembered and prayed for. Reverend Blackman consistently worked with the young people of the community, always trying to instill Christian morals in their lives. He is especially remembered by older West Bay citizens for his ministry through Christian Endeavor, his prayer meeting, and the special prayer meetings during wartime. He was married to Anne Elizabeth Blackman. Reverend Blackman ministered to the West Bay community when life was difficult and transportation was mostly by foot. His remains are interred in the West Bay Cemetery among the people with whom he lived and worked.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Even in this time of uncertainty, time of challenge, we adapt to change, making good on opportunity, clearing a path of continuity. Our children, our students, seek to further learning confined at home. Our teachers reach out and teach, furthering scholarship, their classrooms scattered far and wide. Using technology, bridging distance. That's why Rotary Central joined the AlphaSoft initiative, sponsoring a first batch of 297 of the 600 laptops needed for students in need, students who would be absent from school without a laptop. $7,000 dedicated to the purchase of laptops benefiting children at John Gray High, children at Sir John A. Cumber Primary in West Bay, Rotary Central, and the AlphaSoft initiative, taking care of children who want to learn. Our children, their future, more secure. Rotary, connecting the world.
Recent worldwide events bring into focus the need for quality health care. Your life is meaningful. Your health is no laughing matter. Cayman Pharmacy Group strives to make your health their concern. Recognizing the complexities of pharmaceuticals and the need to personalize your care with one-on-one counseling. West Bay Pharmacy, Savannah Pharmacy, and CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Visit CaymanPharmacy.com for more information. Cayman Pharmacy Group, taking care of your health.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether we're celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
Vamt Motors and RBC Royal Bank are making it easy for you to buy your new car or truck. The Spring into Summer Sale at Vamt Motors is going on now with no money down and no monthly payments for up to 12 months on select models only. That's no monthly payments for up to 12 months or until June 2021 on select models only. Offer ends June 30th. Find out how you can drive home the best deal of the year and call VAMT at 949-8288 or email sales@vamptmotors.com.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA Mr. Ezard Miller. He's also the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. We're talking about the Public Accounts Committee and the individuals who will be appearing. First of all, I must say, Mr. Miller, that this really affords the public, those who have a vested interest in pensions, an opportunity to really hear from the major players in these pension schemes. And it is happening while the legislation has already been passed in relation to allowing people to withdraw from their pensions. There are still some technical issues that people are experiencing, and this gives the members of the Public Accounts Committee an opportunity to question.
Well, we might not. Normally, we have to confine our questions to the reports that are before us.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very difficult for that issue not to come up.
Yes.
Certainly when we're dealing with the administrative arm of the pension plans.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But in terms of the questions to the individual plans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're dealing with the report, the annual reports, so that our questions have to come out of that.
Yes.
Yeah. But when you was asking earlier about questions from the public, there's really no facility for the public to ask questions other than if you have a burning question on the matter that's before it, is to send a WhatsApp to one of the MLA members, representatives there.
Okay.
But there's no facility where you can call in and like if you're on the show and ask a question.
Yes. Okay. Now 2 points that I want to try to get in before we go to the 8 o'clock news. Number one, if you can let our audience know the elected officials who form a part of the Public Accounts Committee, and also speak to the fact that when we look at, for instance, the Cayman Pension Plan, BAF Cayman Pension Plan, most of those persons who will be appearing this afternoon via Zoom, at least, 4 of them are directors. Some of them are directors who are non-resident, which means that they're not physically present in the Cayman Islands for regular operations of that company. And if you could explain what will they bring to the table in terms of their expertise.
Yeah, well, the members of the Public Accounts Committee is Mr. Christopher Saunders, Mr. Bernie Bush, Mr. Austin Harris, and Ms. Barbara Connolly, and I'm the chairman.
Okay.
Also in attendance at all public hearings, by rule, is the Chief Officer and the Minister of Finance and Government Chief Accountant.
Okay.
And the Auditor General Office is also normally the Auditor General, and she usually brings the 1 or 2 members of her staff that have produced that actual report, so that we get intimate knowledge of as present about the report. And either of them can ask questions of the witness, really. But most of the questions are done by the members of the PAC. The question about the directors who are non-resident is those are the people that manage the plan. And therefore, we need to talk to the people who have accepted the responsibility of managing the plan. So while they're, and part of my concern about this whole private sector multi-employee pension business is that most of the decisions and investments are done overseas and we have no jurisdictional control over it. But that's the way they're set up, and then therefore that's what they will bring to the table is they should have knowledge of that particular pension plan and the matters that are before they contain in the report about that pension plan.
Excellent. Okay. I had a thought, and I know that sometimes the government wouldn't want to seem to be accepting handouts, quote unquote handouts from the public. But if every person who decides that they're going to cash out on their pension and decided, okay, government has been good to me. Some of them may have even during this period of time received some assistance from the government, whether it be in food vouchers or whatever. And if everyone were to say, let me take $10, because we heard that there was something like over 20,000 applications for withdrawals. If everyone, if they were to set up an account and say you can deposit $10 in that account for the government, and for the government to use that for people who are really, really in need, that would really, really be an altruistic and a generous move on the part of individuals. Whether or not the government would want to accept it is another situation.
Well, I think the government seems to be happy because one of the things that the deputy governor and the governor is calling on is for all civil servants to make a contribution.
Yes.
So the system is already in place.
Yes.
So I agree with your suggestion. Would be a good one that if since they're coming in and they're getting a drawdown, donate a figure which they decide what the amount is. To that seem fun, and let's see what it produces. But again, I'm not so sure that we should be relying on private or on civil service contributions to the. I think it's a good idea, and it certainly has altruistic value. But I think a bigger problem seems to be the way this whole assistance to people is being managed, and people who are already in the system are getting caught up. And I maintain, and you heard me say this on several public accounts committees to deal with that whole thing, is that I think the whole thing needs to be restructured. It's just too much red tape, and we're not succeeding in keeping the bad guys out, right? So and all you're doing is punishing good, deserving Caymanians, and we have to accept, Mosi, that if you certify a 65-year-old today, right, of being indigent and needing the poor relief fund, don't give it them for 3 months. Just a lifetime, because the situation.
The situation is unlikely to improve
unlikely to change
unless they hit the lottery, and you can't play the lottery in the Cayman Islands.
That's right. You're encouraging them to do illegal activity.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that part of what we're doing is the duplicitousness of it. You know, and you give somebody certified medical indigent, but you give them a 3-month insurance. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Yeah. One of our listeners wanted to know whether or not, wanted to find out where is the government pension plan managed, and I can answer that. I can tell you that it is the something called the Public Service Pensions Board, and government's pensions are well managed. And I need to just declare an interest there, because I happen to be, one of the members of the pension board, and I basically represent the retirees, the pensioners who are receiving pensions now. I was chosen to replace the late Mr. Kirkland Nixon, who served in that position for many years. And like I said, government pensions well managed, despite the fact that there is still a liability in terms of government, what government owes the pension, simply because they haven't kept up with their payments.
I question the accuracy of that liability now, because since 1997, everybody's been on defined contribution, and defined contribution does not carry a liability. Can't. Because it's not a lifetime benefit.
Top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, with MLA Mr. Ezra Miller will continue immediately after the news.
Radio Cayman time check is now 8 a.m. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
We've made it even easier for you to fill or refill your prescription by messaging our pharmacists on WhatsApp. Simply send us a photo of your prescription, we'll prepare it, and on arrival, you'll just need to have your original prescription for verification. You can even have a refill processed by sending us your prescription number. WhatsApp Foster's Airport Pharmacy at 926-7485 or Camana Bay at 926-7486. For more information, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy.
Community radio with a different appeal. The voice of the people. Security through adversity. Stuck on you. Radio for all time.
You're listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. We are here for you. Whether you are in extreme financial need, have lost your job, have been directly or indirectly affected by the pandemic, we are here. The Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan is here to assist through the Cayman Islands Government Emergency Withdrawal Program. To withdraw, visit chamberpension.ky and complete the online application form by filling in your personal details, the amount you wish to withdraw, and upload a notarized government ID such as your passport or driver's license. For information as it happens, visit chamberpension.ky or follow our social media pages on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We thank you for your patience as we address the high volume of email and phone queries. The Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. You can count on us.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm April Cummings. Today's hearings of the Public Accounts Committee are due to get underway at 9 this morning with a busy lineup of witnesses, starting with Deputy Director of Pensions, Mrs. Amy Wollaston. The agenda also calls for testimony from Director Mr. Bernard Ebanks and Chief Officer in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Human Resources and Immigration, Mr. Wesley Howell. The focus is annual reports for the Department of Labor and Pensions, and today kicks off 3 days of hearings. A program to get people back to work as well as adjusting to the working world without the immediate return of the tourism industry is back.
We have relaunched the Ready to Work program.
This program is designed to provide industry-specific training and retooling of Caymanian workers to better prepare them for the workforce.
Premier the Honourable Alden McLaughlin says Ready to Work includes paid internships by employers or by government when required.
And includes support for child care, if applicable, as well as counseling and coaching. Experienced and knowledgeable facilitators who will deliver an established Employability 101 training program. It provides a structured pathway to employment whilst addressing barriers to employment.
For the employer, the program offers a subsidy for 6 months, and candidates are provided with training and development of their employment skills.
It is an opportunity to fill job vacancies with Caymanians and to make a contribution to the development of Caymanians, which will, in the longer term, ensure a vibrant economy.
For more information, whether you are a job seeker or employer, you may email ready2work@gov.ky. That's ready, the number 2, work@gov.ky. You can also call Paul Puckering or Diane Conley at 925-7230. The health minister is encouraging the community to continue to reach out to support the Cayman Islands Blood Bank. The Honourable Dwayne Seymour says donating blood is a vital way to save not only lives, but also to improve the quality of life for people as well.
Blood is an important resource, both for planned treatments and urgent interventions. It can also help patients suffering from life-threatening conditions live longer and with a higher quality of life, and supports complex medical and surgical procedures.
The blood bank is particularly low on O-positive and O-negative blood types right now. They're located at the Red Cross on Halta Avenue, across from the cricket grounds in Georgetown. You can find out more about how to book an appointment to donate blood by visiting bloodbank.ky. You can also call 244-2674. Police confirm a pedestrian was hit by a vehicle just after 8 o'clock Tuesday morning in West Bay. They say the man was crossing Hell Road when he was struck by a Jeep traveling west. Emergency services attended the location. The man was taken to the Cayman Islands Hospital. No other details were provided. In a sign of the times, teachers, family members, and other well-wishers logged onto Zoom to be part of the East End Primary School's first ever virtual school leaving ceremony and bid farewell to 13 students as they move on to high school. 9 students received trophies for excellence in core subjects, and 10 students received awards for their consistent effort. Another 6 received certificates for perfect attendance and participation in extracurricular activities. Education Minister the Honourable Juliana O'Connor Conley addressed the students, and the keynote speaker was 2008 East End Primary graduate Ms. Juana Amador. Now to the BBC for news making headlines around the world. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm April Cummings.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said India wants peace but will respond if provoked after 20 soldiers were killed in a clash with Chinese troops along their border. Mr. Modi said the deaths of the Indian soldiers would not be in vain. Beijing has accused India of provoking the deadly clash. 8 men have been arrested in South Africa, accused of involvement in a huge corruption scandal. Bank officials are alleged to have colluded with politicians to steal more than $100 million from the VBS provincial bank, which served poor communities. Inflation in Zimbabwe has risen to 785% as the country experiences its worst economic crisis in a decade. The coronavirus lockdown has accelerated the decline, with the new local currency introduced last year continuing to collapse. A French court has sentenced the uncle of the Syrian president, Bashar al-Assad, to 4 years in prison on charges of embezzlement of Syrian state funds. Rifat al-Assad was not present in the court. It's one of a string of cases brought in France against members of foreign ruling families living lavish lifestyles while their citizens suffer hardship. The banking giant HSBC has said it will resume plans to cut around 35,000 jobs worldwide. The bank had previously put the redundancy program on hold because of the coronavirus pandemic. One of the most notorious Colombian drug traffickers of the 1980s, Carlos Leda, has been transferred to Germany after serving a long prison sentence in the US. He co-founded the Medellin cartel with Pablo Escobar. And Germany says its coronavirus tracing app for smartphone users has been downloaded 6.5 million times in the first 24 hours since its launch. The app is thought to be more secure for data privacy than some other versions, but there are some doubts about how effective it will be. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. We are here for you. Whether you are in extreme financial need, have lost your job, have been directly or indirectly affected by the pandemic, we are here. The Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan is here to assist through the Cayman Islands Government Emergency Withdrawal Program. To withdraw, visit chamberpension.ky and complete the online application form by filling in your personal details, the amount you wish to withdraw, and upload a notarized government ID such as your passport or driver's license. For information as it happens, visit chamberpension.ky or follow our social media pages on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We thank you for your patience as we address the high volume of email and phone queries. The Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. You can count on us.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
New stock has just arrived at Super Stitch. Now don't take my word for it, drop by and see for yourself. Fresh off the boat, we have loads of fabric, vinyl upholstery fabric, fabric for cushions, outdoor fabrics, and dress fabric. That's not all. Super Stitch has sewing accessories and craft items. Included in the new shipment, you will find sheets, comforters, throw pillows, bath mats, rugs, and curtains for every room in your home. Super Stitch, 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best price in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Good morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Present temperature now 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Relative humidity 94%. Winds calm. Barometric pressures at 29.97 and rising. Synopsis for today: cloudy skies along with light winds and slight seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours due to a weak pressure gradient across the Northwest Caribbean. Forecast for today: partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be easterly 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Later tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be easterly 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight. Wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. We're presently in a high tide. It's going to be low at 1:29 this afternoon, at high at 8:21 tonight. Sunset is at 7:04. Sunrise for tomorrow at 5:49. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through Friday morning. That's your latest weather.
Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Super Stitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
Super Stitch. We are known for our amazing fabrics, top quality tailoring, and dressmaking. But did you know that we also carry trimmings, glitter, sequins, acrylic paints for fabrics and craft, floral wire, glues, markers, foam balls, and assorted ribbons? Yes, we do. You have a do-it-yourself project? Just pop into Super Stitch and see what we have in store for you. There is a craft item for your every need.
My favorite, the beads, glass ones, flat, and even those shell ones.
Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life, inspire others to bring out the leader in you.
By the words of motivational speaker and author Simon Sinek, author of Leaders Eat Last, Why Some Teams Pull Together and Others Don't. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader.
Change your thinking. Change your life. These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. On Course Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On Course Cayman. Health, wellness, and happiness.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong series was brought to you by On Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Taking a look at your traffic situation right now. Compliments of our friends at Subway. Good flow of traffic coming out of the east-west arterial, similar along the Linford Pearson Highway and Crew Road. Esterly Tibbetts Highway looking good, as well as West Bay Road. Traffic along the North Church Street, South Church Street is moving quite good. And most streets in Georgetown, generally light traffic. Buckle up, stay safe, and stay off them smartphones. Your traffic report brought to you by our friends at Subway.
Subway is helping to keep Cayman safe by limiting store openings and hours, offering curbside pickup and delivery right to your door. With 3 locations currently open to serve you: Anderson Square in Georgetown, Centennial Towers in West Bay, and Countryside Shopping Village in Savannah. Subway is open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on soft curfew days. Free delivery for orders with a minimum $20 purchase. Delivery times only from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Subway, helping you to enjoy your favorite foods in the safest way possible.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA Mr. Ezard Miller. I just want to remind you that Mr. Miller will leave us around about 8:30 because the Public Accounts Committee will be meeting at 9 o'clock. So we have a few questions that have been sent in to us. One says, what about the employers who collected the employees' pension and didn't pay it in for all of those years? That was one. Another one wanted to know whether whether or not you, Mr. Miller, or the Public Accounts Committee members have read the National Pensions Investment Regulations, which govern the private sector pension plan. Also, similarly, if you have read the investment regulations governing the public service pension plan.
Of course,
so we have two questions. One in relation to...
The short answer to that, I'm familiar with both of them.
Okay.
But that's an excuse somebody's looking because the investment goes overseas. I don't agree with the investment regulations. I've said that publicly when it comes to the private sector plans.
Yeah, because the person then goes on to say the rules and investment philosophy of these systems are very different. The private is much more restrictive. Draft revisions have been around for a few years.
So the question is, why hasn't the private sector plans, right, lobbied government to get the regulations changed to benefit their members, right? You look at the changes that have been made to the pension plan; they're always in favor of the employer and the pension providers. Not the people the pensioners. But the first question, this is a problem that's coming to light now. I've seen this in my constituency. We have people who have worked for companies or individuals for 5-6 years, right? And now there's been no pension plan. So we have two categories here that should be prosecuted. Those who don't have a pension plan in place, those who take pension contributions and not pay them in. And one of the things that we need to streamline, which I tried to get done when they brought the 2012 pension law, but was not successful, is we need to streamline the prosecutorial process, right? And we need to get to a system of small fines before it goes to court, so that the pension office, if you're an employer and you're not providing a pension plan, the pension office can fine you $100 a day for every day that you don't have it, for every employee you don't have it for, right? As opposed to going to look for a big $20,000 or $30,000 fine,
and it's drawn out for years,
and it's drawn out in court, right? You know, so both of those needs to be investigated by the pension office, because a lot of it is coming to light now, and sometimes the employee do have a choice. You know, they need a job, right? But the employer doesn't provide them a pension plan, and at the question about having a pension, they get terminated. So we have a responsibility to make sure, and certainly the government pension office has a responsibility to make sure. So what I have encouraged these employees in my constituency who don't have a pension to access now, right? Because no pension was provided for them, to report their person who they're working for to their pension office as a whistleblower, and the pension office must offer the protection to that employee. They should be able to investigate on their own merit without having to identify that the employee made a complaint, so that the employee is protected in his job.
Excellent. Want to switch gears. We didn't get a chance to speak.
Well, first of all, let me express my sympathy and condolences to the family of Mrs. Isla Connolly. I'm one of those students that grew up under her administration in the education department, and she made a huge contribution to this country, and for which all of us and generations of Caymanians will remain grateful. I'm sorry to hear of her passing, and my sympathy and condolences go out to her family and extended family.
Yes, certainly, and those of us here at Radio Cayman as well. So the COVID-19 testing update that was given yesterday, the 16th of June, Chief Medical Officer reported that there were 993 COVID-19 tests carried out since Friday's presser. So these are reported from the end of Friday, Saturday, and Monday, and over the holiday weekend just passed. And it says there are 6 positives out of those 993. These are people who are asymptomatic and were picked up through screening. Contact tracing has started for them as well. So as predicted, we're going to get the testing.
I think we can take a certain comfort in that the numbers are still low, and that the government is doing a good job with their contact tracing. And the reason we're finding these people now is because we've done over 19,000 tests or something like that, which is good. But I have a bigger concern, Lucy, now that you raised it. And my concern is the enforcement of the COVID-19 regulations.
Yes.
I see far too many people in public without a mask. And again, I think it should be like I think that's a ticketable offense by the police. But the police don't seem to be doing very much about enforcement. I had a complaint for a very upstanding couple last night, where they actually reported a gathering of people, obviously having a party at a nightclub here in Georgetown, right? And the response from the police was pathetic, to say the least. And apparently the police claimed they went, but they stayed around and observed it for a better part of an hour and a half, and no police car showed up. And then the police tried to say that came in an unmarked car. But they said, listen, if you sent police here, they join the party, because they're a car that pulled into that parking lot, the people got out and joined the party. And those are the kind of things that we need to enforce, because it is the people who risk that are going to cause problems for you and I, who law-abiding citizens. And Caymanians have sacrificed a lot over the last 3 months to keep this virus down. I also observe it on construction sites. I observe it, people walking on the road in groups of 2, 3, 4. Nobody has on a mask. I see people helping people repair car tires on the roadside. Nobody has on a mask. You know, we need to enforce this. I mean, I go to places and I see it happening. I tell them, you have to put on a mask. I went to buy fish the other day, and there was a number of people there, and they didn't have a mask. I said, you have to put on a mask. I'll give you a mask. I have masks in my truck that the government is giving away. I went and got masks and gave them. I said, you can put them on. No, I have in my truck. The law don't say you must keep in your truck or in your pocket. The law says you must wear it.
Yes.
Because the social distancing and the mask is what has protected us so far.
Precisely, yeah.
You know, so we need to have, and I'm hoping that in fact, I'm calling out on the Premier and the Chief of Police, because you know they're listening, to address that at their press conference today. And we need a recommitment by the police to enforce this, the requirements to wear a mask. I mean, after all, you don't have to buy them. The government's giving them for free, you know?
I'm going to switch gears very quickly. I'm trying to touch as many subjects as I can while I have you here. The regiment has made a call for Caymanians to send in their applications because he wants the regiment to be predominantly Caymanian. I believe it should be
only
Caymanian.
But anyway, that's just my beef, and my concern with that is, you know, it's always been, it's like the Coast Guard. One of the things that I insisted when I was consulted about it is that the people in charge must be Caymanian. You can't bring nobody here that know more about water and salt water and boats and stuff than Caymanians.
Well,
the same thing with the rest. Why are we importing people when we have Caymanians here who retired army people? We have retired police officers. Send them off and get the training.
Yeah. Well, here's an article from the.
But let me ask you a question. Why is he appealing for Caymanians to apply? Is he saying that the 200 applications that he have for 50 spots are non-Caymanian? That's a logical deduction.
It would appear, yeah.
Well, then they must be eliminated. All 200 of them can be considered, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Turks and Caicos Sun newspaper yesterday. Colonel Innes Grant appointed commanding officer of the TCI Regiment. Lieutenant Colonel Innes Grant has been appointed the first commanding officer of the TCI Regiment. Grant was appointed following an interview panel chaired by the governor that included the permanent secretary for national security, president of the community college, the police commissioner, and the lieutenant colonel commanding the UK military presently in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Lieutenant Colonel Grant will spend the first year of his appointment on secondment from the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police. The governor is quoted as saying, "We were fortunate to have such a well-qualified candidate apply." Lieutenant Colonel Grant, a Turks and Caicos Islander, presently commands the Marine branch of the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police and commands the cadet force. He holds a master's degree, a release from the governor's office there. And I read all of that just to get this part in, that he is a well-qualified candidate and a Turks and Caicos Islander. Can we say that here in the Cayman Islands?
Unfortunately, we like I said, you know, the only reason that the governor should be appealing for Caymanians to apply is the 200 people don't represent Caymanians. And the first criteria in my mind for that is you have to be Caymanian. If you're not Caymanian, you can't get it. It's all right. Don't send an application in. But why are we so afraid to say that?
I mean, one of the things that when the idea was brought up about a regiment, that I said that we wanted to ensure that the Caymanians, and I pointed out to the Bermuda situation, they rotate their commanding officer. I think it's every 4 years, either 3 or 4 years that they rotate them. But here again, we have an opportunity where we're starting something, right? Just like, okay, now, when we look at freedom of information, right? Our first Freedom of Information commissioner that we had was a Caymanian.
Did a great job.
We get an opportunity to start off on the right foot, and we don't start off on the right foot. We start off on the left, on the left or the wrong foot. And then after that, we got to try to climb and claw ourselves up to the
what
top.
we need to
Why? Why, people?
First of all, I say that, only a fool migrates from a good set of circumstances to a bad set of circumstances on his own volition. So we have to understand that these people who are coming here and taking these jobs are convinced in their own mind that they are better off. So this belief that once they get here, they're going to be glad to go back home. No, I know that's the Caymanian mantra. All of my families that traveled and worked in other countries in the world had one ambition in life: get back to Cayman, right? These people that come here to our paradise don't seem to want to go back, right? And once it gets settled, there's no going back. Once you put a non-Cayman in charge of that, it's going to be decades before you get. Because what we're going to do is we're going to upskill the person that we hire, and every year we're going to give him some little course, and that's going to be a criteria then for the Caymanian to get. You see, so the Caymanian can never catch up. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not a Caymanian, no application should be entertained to you for the regiment. Okay. That's just my personal position.
Okay, I have about a half minute left. I want to give, before you to leave, Mr. Miller, I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments.
Well, I think that going back to COVID-19, I still am prepared to say that I support most of what the government has done in terms of controlling the virus and treating the people who get ill, right? There was a little bit of concern about Caymanians wanting to get back home that was being raised. I think the Premier cleared that up on Friday's press conference, so I hope that all of those will now be allowed to return. And I don't think they should be held up because we're only dealing with one hotel. All the hotels are locked up too, so this shouldn't be something exclusive that one company gets all the business, right? Because you and I both know that while the government are telling us how much they're paying for a room, they're not getting it for free, right? And I have some concerns about the way we are, the government is managing the economic opening up and economic recovery. And my biggest concern there is that there's not enough public discussion and we're not involving the people in the things that we need to decide going forward. So.
Okay, Mr. Miller,
all right,
all the best, and we'll
something.
listen to you as long as we can. This morning we'll
all right,
try to
thank
listen.
you very
All
much.
the best, folks. Please stay tuned for the record.
Having to leave.
No problem at all. For the record, we'll be back shortly. We will have our open line for you to call in as well. That will run until 10 o'clock this morning. So if not, I have lots of things to share with you. Some newspaper clippings that Mrs. Esther Jackson sent me quite a while ago, and I never had an opportunity to talk about, to share them with you. Newspaper, 1909 newspaper. And those of you who live in West Bay, you want to know about the building of roads in West Bay in 1909, stay tuned and I will share that with you.
This Father's Day, more than ever, Celebrations wants to deliver an extra special thank you and show appreciation and love to the other unsung hero, Dad. Celebrate your favorite bud with a great gift basket filled with special treats such as fruits, gourmet goodies, beverages of choice, all uniquely designed for him. With every order this Father's Day, Celebrations will be donating part proceeds to local charity, Feed Our Future, and helping to support families. Celebrations will be doing island-wide, safe, non-contact delivery from this Thursday, June 18th until Sunday, June 21st. Call us on 623-2044 or place your order online at www.celebrationsgifts.com. Happy Father's Day from Celebrations.
The Wharf restaurant is back open to the public. After donating over 20,000 meals during the lockdown, we are energized and proud to have been able to help. Book your waterfront reservations today and enjoy live music while watching the sunset on our spacious and breezy terrace. The Wharf has fresh fish and fresh local produce options every day, as well as an extensive wine list. We are family and kid-friendly with a kids menu and tarpon feeding every night. We are looking forward to welcoming you back. Call 949-2231 to book your table today at The Wharf.
The Bathroom Palace, upstairs Ed Plaza, North Soundway, is honoring all fathers with 30% off all Italian pure wood cabinets. Make your bathroom your kingdom. Sit on your throne in style and enjoy the luxury. Sale starts on Wednesday, June 17th to Saturday, June 20th. Opening hours, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Call the Bathroom Palace, 916-8211 or 916-3553. Happy Father's Day to all dads from the Bathroom Palace.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
Puritan Cleaners is pleased to offer a Father's Day special of 17% off on all prepaid orders, $20 and up on gents wearing apparels starting now until June 25th at all Puritan stores. We also have a seamstress on duty to do your repairs and adjustments. For further details, please call 949-7104. Puritan Cleaners. You feel good when you look good.
Hi, this is Danny Coleman, Director of Hazard Management Cayman Islands. We are now in the hurricane season, and for information on how to prepare and stay safe, please visit our website, www.caymanprepared.ky. Some top tips to bear in mind, given that we are still in the midst of COVID-19. Please make sure you have a mask and sanitizer, you have food supplies to last for 3 to 5 days, a portable radio, personal hygiene and sanitation items, and medical supplies, and any other specific items your family may need during a hurricane. Make sure you know where you will shelter in the event of a storm. If you have pets, please make sure provisions are in place for them too, as the majority of shelters will not take pets. Please visit our website for more tips and tricks on www.caymanprepared.ky or call us on 945-4624. Stay safe, Cayman.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes, Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore.
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether we're celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. First of all, I'd like to make a clarification. You heard earlier Mr. Miller mention about Miss Isley Connolly. We here at Radio Cayman have not been able to confirm that. As a matter of fact, we're hearing otherwise, that she is not deceased. And so we would like to make that correction until something official comes out. I think what Mr. Miller was responding to was something on social media, but we apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused to anyone, especially family members as well. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Morning, Doc. How are you?
This is your friend Steve McField.
Good. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I tried to get onto the radio when Mr. Miller was there because I wanted to support him with his direct opinion about whether or not the proposed regimen should be only for Caymanians and Caymanians. I wanted to support that. But you know, Orrett, the problem that we have in this country is that we do not have the representation that we need for a country who's developing and who should be developing for its people. That's a problem that we have. We had men, and I keep saying so on your show, and I'm sure you remember all the discussions we had about the men who stood to protect this country. Men like Benson Ebanks and the immigration, the Caymanian protection law. Men like Mr. Cradock Ebanks, men like Norman Borden, all of those men like Jim Borden.
Mr. Warren Connolly, yes.
Exactly. Those men no longer are with us, and so we do not have any protection now with the new men that we have. Think that they represent us outside of perhaps Mr. Miller, and especially after Jim Borden died, after Jim Borden lost the election in 1984 with his unity team, the protection that we enjoyed was lost. That got lost with him. Here we are now in 2019 and 2000, and the governor comes and says that he's starting this new regiment, this new thing he said is for hurricane purposes, to give assistance in hurricane purposes. I don't believe that.
And some crowd control as well in terms of assisting the police.
Yeah, and here we are. And here we are today now, arguing about whether or not it should be full Caymanian, because he has said we have over 200 recruits, we have 200 applications, and he's saying that of the 200 applications, he's wish more Caymanians would apply. Well, are they not Caymanians? That's the question. He has not said that, but
that's what Mr. Miller was saying, that we can only infer that those 200 applicants are not Caymanian.
If they were, he wouldn't be asking for more Caymanians, because he said he needs 50 out of 200.
Right.
You see?
So you have 4 times the amount that you recruits for. Yeah.
That's 4 times as much. And here we are now with people who say they represent our interests, represent us, and not one of them, perhaps, I don't know if Mr. Miller has done it, has gone to the governor collectively and has said to him, listen, we are not going to support this regiment unless it's 100% Caymanians. And if you do it, we are not going to support it financially. That is what we should be doing. Make it quite clear to him. And Mr. Jim Borden did this one time. One time, I remember when there was a dispute about funds for Caymanians for something, and the governor would not listen to Mr. Borden. And Mr. Borden took his men down to the legislature, and they voted $1 in the budget. And I remember when he came back to the legislative, to the glass house, he was so quickly after being there only for a couple of hours. And we asked him, Mr. Jim, he said, what happened? You came back so early. He said, I voted $1 for them. And he left them. And then they had to come back to him to go back to do what he do. And he said, this is the position that I take. And if you want that, you can do it. If the governor wants to go in the treasury and take the money out to do it, then let him go and do that. But he would not get it on my watch. He would not get that support on my watch. And I would make that quite clear. But here we are now, touting this on the radio, and we have 19 elected people who elected to represent us, and not any of them have gone to his office and say, we see what's happening here, or we're not going to support it financially unless we are assured. Because we have been talking about this and have making comments anonymously on the newspaper and online and stuff, and refuse to put our name to give it credence and to give it legitimacy. We have refused to put our name to say that this is what we feel in our own country. Can you believe that? When I read it, that's why I read them, and I don't give them much attention, because if you can't put your name to support your own family and your own country, then then you should not be making comments to any online newspaper or so forth.
Yeah.
So forth.
And Doc, one of the things that we don't want to happen with this is, again, that non-Caymanians, if they're allowed to join it, you know what they're going to join it for? They're looking for PR points. They're going to be looking for PR points to say, well, we're part of the regiment. That should get me 20 or 30 points on my PR application.
And their families too, and their families. And here we are now in the infancy of this thing, at the original stage of this thing, and we're sitting quiet. All of us, all of the MLAs are sitting quiet, and yet they say that they represent Cayman. And yet, with all of the problems we have with putting Caymanians first, that's what they say that their philosophy is, and their political agenda is, and their political goal is. And yet, none of them have gone and told him. I would have told him that.
Yeah.
I would have gone to his office and told him that as an MLA or as a cabinet member. I would never support that in cabinet if I was a minister.
Now, we see here, for instance, in what I read on the Turks and Caicos Sun newspaper, where they've taken a Turks and Caicos Islander who has commanded another section within the security services there. I can think of a gentleman right now. I won't call his name, but people will know. He's a member. He's a high executive of the Veterans Association here in the Cayman Islands. Yes, he may have served in the U.S. military as opposed to the British, but when it comes to being an officer, those adjustments can be made. I wonder if that person was ever considered, if that person ever applied for the position of the commanding officer. And I'm going to mention his name. His name is Mr. Andrew McLaughlin. Yes, I'm going to mention his name. Now, he may want to call in and say, well, I didn't apply for it, I don't have an interest, or someone may know something about it. But, it's not like we don't have Caymanians out there. Doc, stay on the line, please. We're going to have to take a commercial break. Stay on the line. Want to continue the conversation with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
Obey the laws and wear the gauze. Protect your jaws from septic paws. Stay clean, Cayman. Reflection sells hand sanitizer from $2.99. 10 surgical masks are only $9.99. And the best KN95 masks from only $3.30. Volume discounts available at all 5 Liquor for Less locations. Shedden Road, North Church Street, Savannah, Northside, and the McClendon Drive Airport location. Don't miss the Liquor for Less incredible lockdown price markdowns. Hundreds of fine from $2.99. Cases of ice cold below wholesale prices. Save $9 off liters of. Enjoy our manager specials exclusively at Liquor for Less. Prices so low, we can't say them on the radio. Liquor for Less enforces the wearing of masks, social distancing, and preventative measures to help stop the spread of COVID-19, such as consistent hand washing and only leaving home for essential purposes.
Wow, looks good. What is that?
Chicken share.
What did you just say to me?
Chicken share.
I am not a chicken
Whoa! I said chicken share. It's from KFC. Bucket of 12 hot wings, 6 pieces of chicken, or 8 tenders. KFC chicken share. Just $12 each.
Oh.
Want some chicken, tenders, or hot wings?
You're sharing your chicken share with me?
The new chicken share from KFC. Just $12 each. And it's finger-licking good. Dine at KFC Baytown Plaza, KFC Shedden Road, or KFC at the Strand.
Recent worldwide events bring into focus the need for quality health care. Your life is meaningful. Your health is no laughing matter. Cayman Pharmacy Group strives to make your health their concern, recognizing the complexities of pharmaceuticals and the need to personalize your care with one-on-one counseling. West Bay Pharmacy, Savannah Pharmacy, and CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Visit CaymanPharmacy.com for more information. Cayman Pharmacy Group, taking care of your health.
The Wharf restaurant is back open to the public. After donating over 20,000 meals during the lockdown, we are energized and proud to have been able to help. Book your waterfront reservations today and enjoy live music while watching the sunset on our spacious and breezy terrace. The Wharf has fresh fish and fresh local produce options every day, as well as an extensive wine list. We are family and kid-friendly with a kids menu and type and feeding every night. We are looking forward to welcoming you back. Call 949-2231 to book your table today at The Wharf.
You love your dad. A.L. Thompson's loves all dads, so we're offering gift ideas at discounts to help you get him what he wants this Father's Day. There's an 82-inch LG 4K Ultra High-Def Smart TV on sale for just $19.95 and a 32-inch Smart LED TV for $219. Perhaps he'd want the Cool Zone ultrasonic dry misting system, or Bose headphones, a smartwatch, a Weber grill, a paddleboard, a power tool, or a Conair massager and groomer. See A.L. Thompson's special prices on Father's Day gift ideas at althompson.com and give Dad a gift he'll love.
Taking your medication when prescribed is important to your health, and your health matters to us. The Health Services Authority's pharmacy has locations across the islands, including a new convenient prescription refill location at Smith Road Center for persons with full insurance coverage. HSA has taken additional safety measures to keep you protected during this extraordinary time, with frequent sanitizing, priority for the elderly and pregnant, additional seating for social distancing, and face mask requirements. If you have questions about your medication, contact one of our pharmacists at 949-8600. For more information about our pharmacy hours and locations, visit hsa.ky.
Stop the spread of coronavirus by washing your hands with soap frequently. If none is available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Stay at home whenever you can. Avoid close contact with people outside your household by staying a minimum of 6 feet apart and wear a mask while in public. For more information, go to www.gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. Mr. Miller left us at 8:30 as to attend the Public Accounts Committee meeting, which he chairs as well. We do have Dr. Steve McFeel on the line with us. So we're talking about the regiment. And Doc, I have been informed of two things. One, the Veterans Association were never consulted in any way in relation to recruitment of a commanding officer. And I am also informed that or advised that if you look at the ads that were placed that were seeking applicants for a commanding officer for the proposed Cayman Islands regiment, that one of the criteria was that you had to be either a member or former member of the UK Armed Forces, which means that right away, it was lopsided. It was lopsided because it was geared towards only those who served. So persons like, for instance, Mr. Andrew McLaughlin, who was in the U.S. Armed Forces, it eliminated him from applying.
Yeah, and another thing, when you look at the reports in the newspaper, the reports in the newspaper about it, it says you have to be between the age of 18 and 50. Now, I don't know if that's only for recruits or does that include officers also. Now, if I don't know what's the age of what's Andrew's age, if he's over 50 or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. I would have gone and seek out his seek him out and ask him if he wants to make an application. I wouldn't sit and wait for him to come to make an application. But once I had the information that he was a trained officer in the armed forces.
Yes.
Do you understand that? If you really want to have Caymanians there, that's what I would have done if I was setting up the system.
Yeah, and if this is being funded by Cayman Islands money, by the people of the Cayman Islands, then why should we, to a certain extent, restrict our own? Exactly.
And so it seems to me that not many of the MLAs have any guts and any grit. It seems to me that all their voices are muffled. They speak in muffled tones, and they're scared out of their wits to stand up to their own people, especially against these people that come here to so-called quote govern us.
Okay, I think we may have lost the feed. Something may have happened with Dr. Mark Field's phone. Until we reconnect with him, what I want to say is that I have always publicly supported the idea of a regiment.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I'm hearing you now too, Doc. Yeah, I have always supported. Yeah, I
am saying that most of our MLAs speak with muffled tones.
Yep, got that.
Muffled tones, and there is no opposition. They don't seem to have any glue to keep them apart even for 2 days or 1 day. So what we have is a group of independents in the Legislative Assembly, and you know what independents are? Every man for himself, and so forth. And so we don't have anybody to keep the government in check, and we don't have anybody on the other side of the aisle who are a government in waiting. So if something would happen today that we had to have a new government immediately, none of them could step up to the plate to be a new government. And that's the problem we have in this country. With them. And here we have this thing now, this new thing, where they should be jumping on this to set the precedent, so that they could at least say that they have a Caymanian regiment. They walk around and they don't even care. They don't even care about what's happening. All they care about their own selves and their friends. And the problem is that we don't have the kind of men that we have with Mr. Benson, Mr. Norman Budd and all those men, and Jim Budd and all those men that I spoke about. We've lost those things.
Yeah.
We've lost them.
Yeah, Doc. I want. I'm going to keep you on until we go to the 9 o'clock news, because we do have some callers, but I want to give those callers an opportunity to fully express themselves. And if we take one of them now, they won't have a whole lot of time. We need to look very carefully at what is happening in the world today, what is happening in the U.S. today, right? If the regiment, the main purpose is during natural disasters to assist, but also to assist the police when it comes to crowd control.
Yeah.
We see the importance of ensuring that regiment is comprised of Caymanians and Caymanians only. You see what's happening in the United States and throughout the world, where you have those persons who are dealing with the demonstrations that are going on, who don't belong to those communities, who can't identify with those communities. Exactly. The problem with the police officers, that is one of the situations that we do not want to occur in the Cayman Islands. And that is one of the risks that is posed if we allow the regiment to be non-Caymanian.
That is right. And I can tell you, Orrett, I believe, I don't know for you, but I believe that you're solid when it comes to protecting your country and stuff.
No question about that.
But if I had been elected in the Legislative Assembly, if I was a backbencher or an opposition or a cabinet minister, he would never get a penny voted by me if the regiment was not Caymanian and they had not went out to seek to get Caymanian. They should not even have. They should be identifying the people who they think would be good candidates and approaching them.
Yep.
That's what I would be doing.
Someone just threw out another name to us, Paul Ebanks from Northside, who's a former UK soldier as well.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
You see? So that is my 2 bit. You can call me back if you want me to on the line.
Certainly will. Folks, top of the hour headline news at 9 o'clock. We have 2 callers on hold. Callers, we're going to take your call and give you an opportunity to express yourselves as soon as we return from this commercial break.
Listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have in Northern Ireland.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your headlines, I'm April Cummings. 6 positives for COVID-19 out of close to 1,000 tests conducted Friday through the holiday Monday. Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee says all 6 are asymptomatic, locally acquired cases picked up through the screening program. As of 5 p.m. yesterday, the islands have 193 confirmed cases, with 123 reported recoveries from COVID-19. More than 18,000 people have been tested, and there are 2 people with symptoms, 1 in the hospital. In international headlines, English soccer's longest suspension since World War II comes to an end today, bringing the country's favorite sport back to a nation that has struggled to protect its citizens during the coronavirus pandemic. The Premier League is the richest soccer league in the world with massive worldwide viewership. It was suspended on March 13th after Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta tested positive. The virus had been rapidly spreading from Italy and Spain to the rest of Europe, but it took soccer authorities to halt play, a move that has been credited with saving lives by keeping tens of thousands of fans in England from being infected at stadiums. China has raised its emergency warning to its second highest level, canceling more than 60% of the flights to Beijing today amid a new coronavirus outbreak in the capital. It was a sharp pullback for a nation that declared victory over COVID-19 in March, and a message to the rest of the world about just how tenacious the virus really is. Those are your headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Your voice, your choice, your radio.
Helping children cope during this pandemic is important. Remember, dealing with the outbreak calmly provides your child with the best support. Lead by example and take care of your needs too. To support your child, listen and acknowledge their fears and questions. Provide clear information and be aware of your own reactions. Help children by creating new routines, limiting their exposure to media, and encouraging them to talk about what they've seen and heard. For free and confidential support, call the Mental Health Helpline weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 1-800-534-MIND. That's 1-800-534-6463.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 2 callers on hold. Before I go to the next caller, I just want to point out that I believe that the governor is genuine in his call for Caymanians to apply to be a part of the Cayman Islands Regiment. Where my problem lies with the fact that we started off on the wrong foot by not ensuring that the leadership of the regiment will also reflect the type of the membership that we're seeking to recruit. And I'll just say that in common language, that because the leadership of the regiment, as proposed now, is not Caymanian, who do those Caymanians, if they want to apply, who do they look up to? who are they supposed to look up to? When we look at the criteria that is set for all of the other overseas territories, Turks and Caicos seem to be similar in terms of the persons that they're seeking to recruit to join the regiment, the training that they will go through as well. So I believe that it is genuine. It's a genuine call. Whether or not we have put in place the necessary steps to get those Caymanians is another question. And I say my opinion is that has to start with the leadership. And we got that wrong to begin with. So if you got the beginning wrong, I don't see how the rest of it can go right. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, Mr. Moderator.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm listening to you, and as usual, you're spot on. Here is my 10 cents worth. As the minister whose prescience and tenacity established the Cadet Corps, I can say that when the Cadet Corps was established, that was my hope, that one day it would be the spawning ground for officers in a regiment or some kind of home guard or maritime defense unit.
Yes.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So having established that, let me go on to say, I have to agree with you. This is one of those cases where we should begin from the top down and not from the bottom up. The first thing we should have done was to select a Caymanian of capable and good potential to train as the commanding officer. When that Caymanian was trained, he should have been brought back, and then we should have set in motion the mechanism to recruit the rank and file using that Caymanian's knowledge and experience to recruit the kind of personnel that he or she wanted.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But you have to understand, we are laboring under British colonialism, and the British are using the same old 19th century colonial playbook that they used in the days of Lord Curzon and Kipling and all those other old colonialists. And they are not going to allow it to happen that way because they want to ensure that they are in total control. And that's the same thing they did in India. Read the history. That's the same thing they did in India.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Why they had the Sepoy uprising? Because the officers treated the Indian rank and file with disrespect, and so they're making the same mistake because they have to be in control. So it doesn't surprise me. And I want to say this with all due respect to the governor. It's not his call. The call comes from his bosses. He's just a messenger. So he's just relaying a message. He can't do anything. He's just relaying a message they gave him to relay. And I agree, it doesn't look good. And I am watching to see how many other people than Caymanians they are going to allow into the rank and file. Because I bet you it won't be limited to Cayman. For the first thing they're going to say is, enough Caymanians didn't apply, so they have to take other people who are resident here in the rank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I am for a regiment, but I'm not for the way they're going about it.
Yes. Yes.
So that's my take, sir, and have a good day.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're spot on, and I agree with what you're saying 100%.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Concerns. Thank you.
I certainly appreciate your call as well, certainly. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning, Cap. How are you?
Not bad. I'm thankful. I got a suggestion.
Okay.
You could kill two birds with one stone. We got a lot of young men up in Northwood. Start a boot camp here, get some experience, Royal Marines or something,
mm-hmm.
and build a camp and break them down and build them up.
Okay.
I know that works. I had a good friend in the U.S. Army told me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had a little experience with that myself. Get a boot camp in an isolated place, same a little place like Little Cayman. You could build a little camp up there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No cigarettes, no radio, no nothing. And within 3 months, you would have a different type of people,
Mm-hmm.
and also, and they would have training and education, train them for jobs that they can do. That you wouldn't, it wouldn't be costing the government that much money to and wipe these. Not everyone could. I'm sure not everyone would qualify for it. But those guys that for a stick of ganja or something up there, break them, show them, train them. It can be done. They do it in other places, and then they would have a job to come to when they're training to come to. It's a win-win situation. And it has been done. I had an experience with I'm not going to call his name or where he was from, but he could hardly read and write. We were down in Suriname one time. He wanted to buy a machete so he was going to chop up the chief mate because he didn't like it. And I convinced him not to do that. He found out that I knew. Both of us was in the forecastle, sailors, but I knew navigation.
Mm-hmm.
He found out I could, and he wanted to learn for me to teach him navigation.
Okay.
Water. He could read a little bit, but he couldn't figure. Water something I had with that. But within a couple of weeks, we went to New Orleans. I made him buy the books and all kinds of things, and he started studying, and all that foolishness went out his head. It took him over 3 years, but he made a third mate. He made a third mate.
Wow, yes.
So I'm telling you from experience, I know these things work. These things work, but you've got to give up people. We all make mistakes. Some of these guys have made some terrible ones, but they can be trained. But it's going to be tough, and no cigarettes, no music, no nothing for 3 to 4 months. You'll break them down, and then you'll put something in their head and have 4 hours or something for military training or whatever, and another 4 hours in the day in the classroom or something like that.
It is quite possible, Captain Paul, but the criteria, and I'll have to look at it, that has been established here, that those persons at Northwood would be precluded from being able to join it. But I'll look at the the criteria to see whether or not that is possible. I have their website up here, and I'll share some of that with our listeners as well, and I'll see what I can find in relation to that to see whether or not your suggestion would be a viable one, or whether or not they would have to amend the criteria that they have set for applicants.
Well, they do that for other people. They amend when it suits them. They amend it for all kind of foreigners. That's why they can't amend it for the Cayman or the. It's something worth trying, and I know it will work.
I agree with you, Captain
It
Paul.
will work, but not really. They don't want our people. They want because if it wasn't having all these people up in prison, a lot of people wouldn't have a job. So that's another thing that is thinking of. But that's just a suggestion and an idea. But
Thanks, Captain Paul.
I know it works because it worked in other places.
Thank you very much. I'll look up more on that and comment more on it as well. One of our listeners has written in and said, "What about Shane Bothwell? Not sure if Shane." No, they wanted to know what about Shane Bothwell, who again is a former member of the U.S. Military as well. What about Christopher Smith, the nephew of Rupert Ackerman and Miss Daphne Orrett? Maybe they have applied. The person has written in and questioned. What about them as well? Very good point. Let's go to the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you. Is Mr. Steve, Dr. Steve there?
No, he's on. He was on the phone with me. I'm sure he's listening, and we will try to re-engage him again before the show's over as well.
Very good. I have to agree with Captain Holston 100%. We should have had a boot camp here. And I remember, my memory served me well, there was one particular politician that ran with that on his ticket, that he was going to put a boot camp here for our bad boys. You know what I mean? But the youth then back then, I think it was in the early 90s, when we refused to say that there was gangs here in the schools. But if we had started that boot camp, then we would have a better country, I think. Well, at least the youth wouldn't have been in jail today. But I agree with what Captain Hodgson said. And you tell me that they would be restricted, the prison boys. What I'm saying, and I suggested this on the radio before, but nobody ever even carried through or answered or questioned it. They didn't believe what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you catch those kids before they reach jail.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You catch them before. When the police arrest them, you go take them to the parents. I mean, and the parents gonna cry because they don't want their little boys to go in these armies. But anyway, it's better from the going to army or some service besides going to jail. But they always end up in jail. Now, is this the same regiment that I came on the radio? I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago,
mm-hmm.
and cried out or spoke out about Caymanian, saying that the Cayman Island government and the governor were bringing in a regiment here to kill Caymanians.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Same regiment?
Yes.
Oh, well, anyway, I heard some more after I made that remark or statement. Some people came on the radio and lambasted me. But I'm going to say this today. We need that regiment. I have a son. He spent 5.5 years in the British Army. He's a gunner.
Mm-hmm.
He served in Germany. He did his thing in Afghanistan, and then he's back home here. So he's a proper soldier there to get into this regiment.
Yes, a candidate, good candidate, yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying hard to get him to even call the people, whoever it is that's responsible, so he can sign up.
Well, the deadline I think is the 20th of June, somewhere around the 20th, 21st. I'll find a deadline for applications. Yes.
I must differ here, Osi, about we saying that we don't want Caymanians into this and into that. We do, but they don't want to. Caymanians are not interested in certain areas in this country.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean,
yeah,
what the Turks? Jeremy used to train people in Germany. He used to train the young recruit. And I know he has the ability to do something in the regiment, but he just won't go.
Okay.
So I can't say, that they don't want Caymanians in it. I mean, the governor, I take my hat off to him. He invited them to come and join up. I know we have several.
But don't you? What do you feel about the leadership? Do you feel that if you want Caymanians to follow you, that it is best to have a Caymanian in leadership? For them to follow you.
Totally agree. But do we have anybody as in a leadership position?
Well, that's what the conversation came up about. I read about the Turks and Caicos Islands, and I think the gentleman's name is Grant, who is a former member of the Turks and Caicos
regiment.
Not the regiment, but their security apparatus. And he is now transitioning over and becoming the first commander of the regiment there in Turks and Caicos Islands, a Turks and Caicos Islander. Now, people have we mentioned the name of Andrew McLaughlin here. Someone has sent in the name of Shane Bothwell. Someone has sent in the name of a gentleman by the name of Smith as well. One of the criteria in terms that I'm told for the commanding officer for the regiment in the Cayman Islands is that you had to be a former member of the British Armed Forces. So all of our Caymanians who gravitated towards the United States and may have been United States citizens and served in the U.S. military are precluded from applying to become commanders. So right away, the playing field is tilted not in our favor.
I understand that, and that's not right because, all protocol service or the military service is pretty well, all the protocols are pretty well the same.
Yeah.
Whether it be English, French, France, Germany, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see that being fair. I don't know. I see what you're saying. It exclude them from it. But
well, sometimes when we set criteria, we put out an application for some persons to apply for jobs. We already have somebody in mind, but we simply put it out there to make it look as transparent as possible. Caller, I want to thank you very much for that.
Okay, thanks for listening to me.
Great. Thank you very much. We're going to go to a commercial break, but before we go there, I just want to read this one very quickly. It says, "Good morning, sir. Have we no concern that we are creating a system where our people are controlled by the British, whereby our Caymanians could well be ordered to turn their guns on their own people?" Very legitimate concern. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
Recent worldwide events bring into focus the need for quality health care. Your life is meaningful. Your health is no laughing matter. Cayman Pharmacy Group strives to make your health their concern. Recognizing the complexities of pharmaceuticals and the need to personalize your care with one-on-one counseling. West Bay Pharmacy, Savannah Pharmacy, and CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy. Convenient quality care is just around the corner. Visit CaymanPharmacy.com for more information. Cayman Pharmacy Group, taking care of your health.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
We all know there's nothing more refreshing than the taste of an ice-cold Coca-Cola straight from the cooler.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Whether we're celebrating a birthday, promotion, or just a great meal, make each moment a Coca-Cola moment.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling.
Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Make sure you ask for the unforgettable flavor of a classic Coca-Cola.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs, with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
Babes to Teens.
Let's do it!
Step into Babes to Teens and you will find great clothing and other items at affordable prices for Babes to Teens. We will take you from baby registry and every age in between straight up to teen. Browse for clothing and accessories. Drop by today and get those hard-to-find pieces for your child at Babes to Teens. Located at number 8 Plaza Venetia, North Sound Way. Telephone 946-8157. Open Monday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Customers are required to wear masks and be mindful of social distancing while shopping in store.
Who's next? Go, 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 go.
The Cayman Islands Regiment is looking for outstanding individuals who want to make a difference, gain unique experiences, and be a part of a team that delivers safety, security, and aid to those in need within the Cayman Islands and across the wider Caribbean region. To find out how to join and what the requirements are, visit www.gov.ky/CI Regiment and apply today. Application deadline is June 21st.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. You heard it on the ad. The application deadline for the regiment, June 21st. Before we go to our callers, I just want to read something from the Cayman Islands Regiment website. And it reads, the Cayman Islands Regiment, CI Regiment, is Cayman's first formal military formation. The role of the CI Regiment is to provide disaster relief and security within the Cayman Islands and the wider Caribbean region. Our mission is to recruit, train, and develop soldiers and officers within the Cayman Islands in order to fulfill the role of the CI regiment. Our values goes on to read, if I can find the cursor, our values, courage, both physical and moral, discipline, respect, integrity, inclusivity and teamwork, loyalty, selflessness. Our standards, it is imperative that at all times the behavior of the members of the Cayman Islands Regiment is lawful, impartial, professional, proportionate. Our motto, prepared in adversity. My Latin is all not that good, so I won't give you the Latin. I just give you the English translation of that. Prepared in adversity. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
No, you've got quite a discussion going there this morning. First of all, I think that first sentence that you just read from the website is incorrect. We had the Home Guard, we had the Home Guard back in 1940, 41. 38. So that's not a correct statement.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think what Captain Paul suggested is not a far-fetched idea.
No, it isn't.
Because that could very well, get some of these guys. This went off the track a little bit, back between the lines, and it don't take a heck of a lot to bring them back between the lines if it's done right by people who know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets me back. That leads me to within the Cayman Islands Veterans Association, there is a plethora of disciplines that would fit right in to the molding of a Cayman Islands sensitive regiment. I think you mentioned before that the association had not been invited or had not been contacted about any kind of input into this regiment.
Wow.
So it's but it's the same old tune being played over and over and over and over. And what Dr. Mike Field said about the representatives, the representation, let me put a representation that should be active, I think is right on. And he mentioned after Jim Borden kind of got out of the fray there that it was not at a level that it was when he was in there. But you go back to people like Garston Smith and Dede, who was in the Trinidad Royal Navy. He was very, very active in Caymanian, being, keeping things CI where whatever discipline it was in. Those guys. So, but hopefully that somewhere along the line there can be some adjustments made, and that some of this the disciplines and some of the expertise that's within the Cayman Islands Veterans Association could be utilized. I mean, within the executive of that organization, there's probably upwards of 150 years of military experience. And you go through these things, you learn them, you never forget them. One thing that I'll never forget is what I was taught, that if I ever came across a gassing experience, I'm not talking about tear gas, we're talking about the real powerful stuff. That's still between my eyes.
Yeah.
So it's and I think some more advocacy on behalf of this general idea of this regiment it's got to be CI sensitive, or it's going to go off the track.
Exactly. Yeah. No question about that. No question. Caller, want to thank you very much, for that as well. And the question there is, how much of this is driven locally and how much isn't. We know that while there is local acceptance of a regiment, we had the Cadet Corps. And while there were some concerns about the Cadet Corps and what that was established for, and at one point in time when they heard that they were being trained in the use of weapons, there was an outcry in that regard. But the idea of a regiment appears to have gained substantial local support. No question about that. Question is, how much is it locally driven? How much local input are we going to be able to have in its formation and its establishment, as opposed to it being driven by the UK? Since it's the UK that's putting it in place, they don't have to do it in Bermuda because Bermuda already has their regiment. I think there's another overseas territory that has regiment as well. They're certainly doing it in the Cayman Islands, doing it in the Turks and Caicos as well. But the question is, how much local input are we going to have in it? Because if you don't get the local input that is necessary, you're not going to get the support for it at the end of the day. Paul, can we take another call before we go to commercial break? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. How are you doing, Mr. Connor?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, stranger?
Thank you. Nice to hear you. Just want to get on this regiment thing. I've been listening a little bit, but not too much. I just want to put in my info for it because I am noticing that the Cadet Corps has been here for a long time. I've been on the board with that for a long time ago, like 5 years, like doing support and everything. But I'm wondering why they have not involved anyone from the Cadet Corps commander in it. I'm hearing that, it's different and it's all set up different. They not even call anyone to, have any say in it. And what I'm hearing that these people that are the commander of the regiment is employed by DART, and his name is Simon Watson. His deputy works at CIG, is the head of the computer service, Simon Spears, and not one Caymanian is into that. And these people have been here less than 7 years, so they don't even have permanent residences or anything as yet. And, I did a little research before I called into your show. I understand that you have to be less than 50 years old. Of course, we do have people that's in there. We have Bobette O'Garo that was the commandant for the Cadet Corps. So I think that she should sit on some of these boards because she's been here a long time. She's Caymanian. She knows the people, and nothing is being done about this. We just have people that applied for police officers that went training into the United Kingdom and came back and was denied a job. And I can tell you, last name is one of them is Mr. Watler. They're sorry, we don't have no space for you. I mean, they're not picking Caymanians to be in these things. They're choosing who they want to be from outside. And this is our country. And yes, we're under England, but give us a chance first because there's a lot of people that's out of jobs. And they're not giving us a chance. And I think this is really unreasonable to the Caymanians. I know that we have the other gentleman that was in the Cadet Corps, Mr. Hire. Yeah, and he's well trained. I mean, yes, he's over 50, but he's not much over 50, and he's very capable. There's nothing wrong with him, He's not an invalid or anything, and he has a very bright knowledge of the Cayman Islands. These people just come in here and been here less than 7 years.
And Carla, the same way that they can make exceptions when it comes to the leadership position, if you're saying that neither of those persons are possess Caymanian status, if they can make exceptions for the leadership position, then why can't we make exceptions when it comes to age? If we're looking to establish something, you can put a sunset clause in any agreement that you enter into with a person who's over the required age, but they bring something to the table to help you to get this organization established.
Exactly, and they could have integrated the Cadet Corps more into that. And also, I'm hearing that you have to go to Sandhurst,
yes,
Training Academy in the UK Now, who sends their kids over to Sandhurst from the Cayman Islands to the UK? We just known about this now.
No, but they will send the regiment will send you there for training.
I understand that. I understand that. I know that will happen. But I'm saying that give the other cadet corps a chance to integrate into that and have them be trained also. Because most people doesn't have residence as yet. I don't know if they're going to get residence because if they do, you walk a dog, you get a resident. So I think if you walk the regiment, you get residence. And that's probably what's going to happen. It's not funny anymore, but it's really going out of hand. It's out of proportion, because I'm thinking that the cadet corps, all the commanders and all the former employees that was into the cadet corps and that is into the cadet corps and that is active should be involved in this, not just those that they think that should be involved in somebody from outside. I disagree with it. Anyway, you have a good day. Nice talking to you. I'll see you soon on the road.
Thank you very much. You take care. We're going to take a commercial break. We still have callers on hold as well. We will take those calls as soon as we return.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Vant Motors and RBC Royal Bank are making it easy for you to buy your new car or truck. The spring into summer sale at Vant Motors is going on now with no money down and no monthly payments for up to 12 months on select models only. That's no monthly payments for up to 12 months or until June 2021 on select models only. Offer ends June 30th. Find out how you can drive home the best deal of the year and call VAMP at 949-8288 or email sales@vampmotors.com.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
Puritan Cleaners is pleased to offer a Father's Day special of 17% off on all prepaid orders, $20 and up on gents wearing apparels starting now until June 25th at all Puritan stores. We also have a seamstress on duty to do your repairs and adjustments. For further details, please call 949-7104. Puritan Cleaners. You feel good when you look good.
Store enough drinking water for each family member in your household for at least 5 days. Be sure to have at least 1 gallon per person per day. Store additional water for those with special needs, such as nursing mothers, young children, or people with illnesses. Keep drinking water in a clean, non-corrosive, tightly covered container. For more useful hurricane preparedness tips, visit the Water Authority's website, www.waterauthority.ky, or follow us on social media.
Headlines.
With the latest headlines.
One
of Cayman's bright and shining young stars.
Local, regional, international.
Headlines.
Turning to international news. Updates on the hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. on weekdays. All the news when you want it. Tune in to Radio Cayman for hourly headlines of the day's top stories. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The Cayman Islands government wishes to advise the public that they will continue to distribute reusable cloth masks across the Cayman Islands with the assistance of the RCIPS Community Police Officer and Community Safety Officer in your areas. Officers will be visiting homes in all districts over the next few weeks, and a limited supply of both disposable and reusable masks will also be available at supermarkets. Remember, you are required to wear a mask when indoors in any public place and when using public transportation. Continue to maintain a minimum of 6-foot distance at all times from persons who do not live in your own household, and wash hands frequently. Stay safe, Cayman.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 2 callers on hold. Before we go to those callers, one person inquired about who set the criteria. The website here talks about the candidate selection. It says that the regiment will be approximately 175 strong by the end of 2021. The first selection and training of recruits will happen in June of 2020. This will be followed by subsequent selection and training windows in 2021. Now, to bear in mind also that many of these positions are part-time positions, so you will be able to keep your substantive jobs or whatever and still be able to volunteer for the regiment. And hopefully, sometime in the near future, we will have someone come on for the record and talk about the regiment, answer the hard questions, or maybe by then there won't be too many hard questions, that some things will change, hopefully, by then. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Rossi.
Good morning. How are you?
All right. I'm happy about the regiment. My son has been in the cadet corps for about 3 years now and really, really enjoys it. And I hope this is something he can look forward to. And things don't change when he's 18 and something else changes, that he doesn't get the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure that if the opportunity still exists, this is something he can work towards. I mean, the children go through serious training with this cadet corps. They achieve their STAR exams. They achieve all kind of other stuff. They get to go to other islands and experience their regiment and participate in their camp. So I really hope that this is part of the next level for them, because like the previous caller mentioned, you look at Miss Babette Ogaro and you see where she went and how long she has dedicated her life to the cadet corps. So, you know, my cousin Sheen Bothwell, the same way. These persons have dedicated their life to the army life, I call it. And it's their bread and butter. So we should be tapping into those resources locally, but we see it all the time. We see it even outside of Cadet Corps. We see it with people who, in law, we see it, the same thing happening with these young lawyers and the opportunity for articleship. We see it across the board, and it's repeated over and over in each segment of society where there's an opportunity to excel at Caymanian, and it's bypassed.
And we don't seem to learn our lesson.
Well, you say that if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, then that's a sign of madness. And we look hope that that's not where we're headed, down the road of madness, because we're bright people. We come from very strong and bright and able Caymanians, and we should be doing things differently. And our leaders should be demanding it. We shouldn't sit by idly and not speak up. And again, I got to say it, as I always say, we got to stop being these birds where our heads are in the sand and pretending like everything outside looks really, really good, and therefore it has to be good. So I hope that this thing resonates with people like the governor, and he's relaying a message of concern back that says we're happy about this, but they're not happy about the way that it's being conducted, because that's really essentially what he should also be doing, not just passing down the UK rule, but taking back concerns from the people. He says that he's here to represent us as well as our governor. Therefore, there's an obligation on him to do that other side of the coin, right? Can't just flip the coin all the time.
And Carla, hopefully, one of the things that they may look to adopt is that if you have served in the cadet corps, then when you reach 18, then you should be given some sort of preferential treatment in terms of it. The same way that they say that you have to be a member of the UK Armed Forces in order for you to be a commanding officer. Then,
I wondered about that, that part about the UK, because I thought about it one day, and I thought, if a line Sheen up against any other UK regiment officer, could they really say he had any less training? Could they say his American training was less than that of the UK? I find it highly unlikely. And I think that is to the detriment of our people, those sort of barriers. And this is those glass ceilings we always talk about. If people don't understand what glass ceilings are, where you can see the sky.
But you never reach it.
Beautiful. And as soon as you reach your hand, it knocks and you realize, oops, I can't even touch what I'm trying to reach. I'm always just being able to see. But I also want to mention this morning that we had something come out this morning about Mrs. LaConda.
Yes.
Mrs. LaConda has not passed. And I think it's sad that we continue to live in this society where this propaganda of getting news out early is the priority, rather than getting correct news out, even if it's delayed. Let it be correct.
Yes.
Mrs. LaConla is my father's cousin. Her mother, Miss Ella, was my great-grandfather's sister. And so there's a lineage of people that come down, but to continuously put out false information. I mean, you imagine, I actually called Jackie this morning. I mean, I sent her a message, and for them to wake up to that again. And it's not the first time that we've had this thing come out about Mrs. La passing. And it's unnecessary, and it's upsetting. And I know her granddaughter made a response this morning. I'm proud of her for making that response. One of her last lines in her response was basically, Grandma said to tell you all hello and to give her love.
Yes.
So, you know, we also need to become a responsible society. That's how we're demanding responsibility from the UK and to ensuring that they're using participation of Caymanians and so forth. As Caymanians in this country who report the news, be responsible in your news reporting.
Yeah, and don't rely on social media. We can't rely on social media, yes.
But even
and it was only mentioned on here because, you know, our guest, you know, mentioned it. And yeah.
I understand. I'm just saying that even if we do decide that a reporting unit of social media is putting out information, there should be some reliance that is factual to some degree before they propagate something that spreads like wildfire across our country. At least get your sources together. You know? But anyway, sir, I appreciate your time, and I really hope that, like I said, that the governor has taken note of the concerns, because he has also said publicly that he is here as a representative as well. So we can hold him to those same words as we hold anybody else.
Caller, thank you very much for your most reasoned, you know, conversation and approach to the subject as well, and your knowledge that you carry with it. Thank you very much. We have 2 callers on hold. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to make those 2 callers the last callers for the morning, because I have to share with my West Bears something about that road in 1908, and I believe it's the road going to Ballabano, but we'll figure that out when I share with you this newspaper article that I received from Mrs. Esther Jackson. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes, Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore,
The 8:12 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center. Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center is your one-stop shop for all of your sewing and alterations, fabrics, household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations. Call Super Stitch at 949-2833 or email customercare@superstitch.com.ky. Super Stitch, located 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road, still offering the best prices in town.
And RBC Royal Bank are making it easy for you to buy your new car or truck. The Spring into Summer Sale at Vamped Motors is going on now with no money down and no monthly payments for up to 12 months on select models only. That's no monthly payments for up to 12 months or until June 2021 on select models only. Offer ends June 30th. Find out how you can drive home the best deal of the year and call Vamped at 949-8288 or email sales@vampedmotors.com. Your Radio Cayman 6 p.m. news, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Logic. Your life connected.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to take our last two calls for the morning. Still have some WhatsApp messages that I need to share with you as well. Let's take the first caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, OC.
Morning, sir.
Just weighing in on the regiment. I could not agree more with Mr. Miller that this particular regiment should be, the prerequisite should be you have to be Caymanian. As defined by the law.
Mm-hmm.
I say that because what we're going to find is, you see already you got 200 applications for 50 position posts.
Mm-hmm.
And what this is foreign nationals trying to secure
a foothold.
Mm-hmm. And that is not right. That's not right. And I mean, this is one time that I'm going to be biased. It must be Caymanians only. And you see, one of the things also you got to ask yourself. I mean, I know several young Caymanians who applied for police and have never ever even got a courtesy call to say you were not accepted, whatever reason, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
I know a young man.
And that's since their last recruitment drive that they had and the demonstrations, the walk around that they had down at their location on 7 Mile Beach in, I think it was December of last year, either December or January of this year, somewhere around there.
I know this young man applied. This young man is a graduate of CCC, graduating with very good grades. He have not even got a reply back from the police. Now, I say that to say this. Without you come out and say we're creating a regiment, but you must be Caymanian to apply, then the Caymanians, the young Caymanians that would be energized to apply would do so because they would have that reassurance that, well, at least I believe I have a fighting chance on this particular one because they're saying Caymanians only.
Mm-hmm.
But you remember when that ad was first aired, what did that say? It said you could apply, basically you could be from Timbuktu and apply. I want a regiment that if something happens tomorrow morning and we say, well, you got to go down, the person is responding, well, where this internet is, Holman Corner? Yeah, well, Holman Corner is West Bay Road. They come over the bridge.
Yep.
I don't want to find them in breakers looking for Holman
local
Corner
knowledge.
bridges. Local knowledge. That is what I want to see with the regiment in Cayman.
Yep.
And if we don't get that local knowledge, my friend, that's going to be a problem. Anyway, I know you're strapped for time, OC. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, too. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, and how are you today?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Oh, I'm more than blessed.
Okay.
Thankful and highly blessed.
Good.
About the cadets, okay? I know I have said this many times before on your show and on Talk for Today. I have a granddaughter that's been in the cadets sometime. It started. And she reached, at the age of 18, she became a sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to go through a lot of different things to become a sergeant, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But now she became a sergeant. So they asked her then if she would like to help with the training. She says, no, I need to learn more. And she is now, next 2 months, God's willing, she would be, less than 2 months, she'll be 22. And she has become now a senior sergeant.
Okay.
Doing the training and all of this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know really what... I am a fan, and not because of my granddaughter, but I'm a big, big fan of the cadets, okay? And like others were saying that they should be given the opportunities to be into this regiment, all of that there. But anyway, you know, we as Cayman, we never get, we don't really ever always get fair treatment.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave it out there.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yes, and you too.
Thank you very much. Okay. Got several WhatsApp messages and text messages as well. Let's share them very quickly. The regiment and our boot camp will also serve to build a discipline, leadership, respect, citizenship, and nation building and defense for these islands, just like how the seafaring years and the home guard sharpened our elder Caymanian men, so can this regiment and or a boot camp. The only people who should fear a regiment are those who do not respect reasonable law and order. Thank you. I have to wonder whether the police are going to now be reluctant to respond to calls for help, emergencies. It seems that when they respond and if they have to exert some force, then they are investigated by the ombudsman. This other person has written in and said, good morning. The regiment can be led by a Caymanian of good reputation, even if he or she does not have a military background. Much of the formation of the regiment requires skills that are readily available in Cayman, like administrators, logistics people, human resource management, etc. Are you aware in most militaries the medical doctors and pastors are given an automatic commission of captain? We could do the same here. And the person says, by the way, I was in the army and they've sent us a picture, and he says, I am the short guy in the middle. One more very quickly, and then I'm going to give that West Bay stuff out. This person says, good morning, I agree with you and Mr. MacPhail. However, I think that I think and feel that it would be status holders and not one generational Caymanians. Where would they come from? Would we be better off with their mentality and culture, what they're used to, and also practice here? Well, I think our Constitution, when it comes to qualification as an elector, makes provisions not only for multi-generational Caymanians to be able to vote, and we can do the same thing, here as well. Parent or grandparent, we could even extend it to great-grandparent born in the Cayman Islands or something of that nature as well. So West Bears, here we go. Building New Roads, newspaper, 1908, courtesy, and I must be thankful to Mrs. Esther Jackson. She gave this to me a long time ago, and she has a wealth of information. Old Cayman Compasses, other old newspapers as well. So this 1908 article, Building of New Roads, a road leading from the village of West Bay. It was called a village in 1908. To the North Sound, a distance of 1.5 miles is now being constructed. 2 sections of 5 chains each. And don't ask me, I would have to Google it to know, how many chains make a mile or whatever. If you know, send me a quick WhatsApp. So it says 2 sections of 5 chains each have been completed in excellent style, and the 2 contractors, William Farrington, Esquire, J.P., and Timothy Ebanks, Esquire, deserve much credit for their work on sections A and section B, respectively. The road goes past the Presbyterian Church. On Monday, January the 27th, Mr. J.H. Sullivan, Sergeant Major of Police, arrived here, inspected the sections completed, and also measured 2 other sections. So that was that. Then here's another. This is December the 20th of 1909. Ship's crew rescued. It has been reported by the captain of the SS Beatrice, who arrived in this port. This is in Port Antonio on Thursday night last from America, that the four-masted schooner, the Nimbus, S. Stall Master, bounded from Philadelphia to New Orleans with iron pipes, sprang a leak in rough weather and was abandoned 80 miles south of the Cape Hatteras in a sinking condition. Her crew was rescued and brought here by the Beatrice. The owners of the Nimbus are C. Hatteras and Company of Boston, USA. Anything else that we can share with you? Legislative Council of Jamaica. The Legislative Council of Jamaica met on Tuesday, the 14th of January, 1908, with some military display. The governor's address was lengthy and showed a large surplus in the financing of the colony. It is proposed to increase the education vote. Here's local again. In the Cayman Islands, 1909, Mr. A.E. Panton, J.P., has been appointed agent of the Imperial Life Assurance Company of Canada. Mr. S.J. Mackey, the superintendent of the company, and Mr. Ansel Hart of the firm of Manton and Hart, the general agents for Jamaica, have been visiting Georgetown recently to complete arrangements, and undoubtedly this progressive company, so well known in Jamaica, will do a large business under Mr. Panton's direction. So that's from a newspaper, 1908. As it relates to the Cayman Islands, the building of a new road in the village of West Bay to the North Sound, as well as the appointment of Mr. A.E. Panton, J.P., as agents for the Imperial Life Assurance Company of Canada. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Bear in mind that you can listen to the Public Accounts Committee meeting live on Breeze 105.3 FM as it takes place, as it goes on right now. You can do that as well. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates.
FIS MoneyGram, the safest and most convenient way to send money worldwide. MoneyGram, bringing you closer. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.